So let's open up Blender. Cool. So, hi, guys. This is my first stream that I've made. I will be recreating a little VFX shot that I've seen on TikTok. So I'll show what I'm aiming at recreating today. Let's see if I can get my videos up. There is some downloaded videos. Nope. We'll just find it through online. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, what's that? Sorry. So, this was a TikTok that I saw a few weeks ago that I thought was really, really cool. It had this really cool physics-based web and obviously him swinging through New York as Spider-Man. I thought that was a really cool little video and I wanted to try and recreate it. So I thought that'd be a fun way to start today's stream, is, creating a New York City, a sort of like New York City scene, and then we can go into making some physics-based webs, and then we can try and do something like that. So I made a version of it yesterday just to test things out, and you can see that you don't actually need too much in the actual scene itself, which is pretty cool. I'll just wait for my computer to load. It's struggling a little bit with everything open, but that's okay. So you can see I've chucked a denoiser on, but essentially you just need a few buildings. You can see they're kind of scattered throughout. I've made a little, to recreate his one, I made a little crane. I'll actually bring that video back up just so you can see it. This is made by this channel here, which is this guy, Richard. He makes some very cool videos. Augurusay. Not sure how to say it, but there's some cool videos on that channel. And he did like a little breakdown on how he made it as well, which is cool. Yeah, so he started with his with a live action element, but I wanted to make mine entirely CG in Blender. You can see here's a little physics-based web, which is cool. It was actually funny, a few weeks before this, I was going through TikTok and I'd just seen the new Spider-Man film, which was amazing. And I wanted to create some Spider-Man visual effects. And a lot of them were like a kind of, it was like visual effects with like pre-made like green screen assets, which you just kind of overlaid, which I wasn't really a fan of. So I actually made my own version of this web, which is what this one was. And then I found this guy's video after that and saw that he'd done the same thing. So it was really cool to see someone else do the idea as well, which is really great, because it's always nice to see, people in the community making really cool things and making things that are popular as well. So that was great to see, and I thought, it'd be a great idea to kind of use that as inspiration and then make my own version of it. So I tried making a copy, and now I'm gonna go through today and make our own version of that shot. So I don't need to save that. So what we're going to do is we're going to not open my OBS stuff and not open that. We will start with a new scene in Blender. So if anyone's here as well, just say hi in the chat. I've got a computer on the side here. I'm not actually quite sure how to set up like a live chat yet. I might need to grab another monitor for that. I need to look into that, but I've got my laptop here so I can see everyone's chat coming through and I'll be able to respond here, speaking to you. So we're going to start by finding some reference. Sorry to keep opening this up. We're going to look up some New York buildings to start with, because it's always great to start with some reference photos, which is nice. We're going to go New York building facades. Hopefully this gives us some. There we go. Look at this. Some beautiful reference. Pinterest is always a great. Oh, it's not. Look at my Photos, Pinterest is always a great place to find reference images as well. Look at that, that's beautiful. We'll find a few other ones. Okay, please sign in. Sweet, that's good. Let's save this. Okay. Sorry. Don't use Pinterest. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna sign in to learn how to use Pinterest now. Let's just open image in new tab and save. That's gonna keep showing my face, isn't it? That was my LinkedIn photo, which is why it keeps coming up. Let's grab. So these are just reference photos. We can do. I'm sure everyone who's used Blender before has seen the Ian Hubert like texture mashing. I'm not quite sure what he calls it actually, but where you apply texture onto a building. Let's say Ian Hubert buildings. Oh, that's definitely how you spell buildings. Modeling buildings. Yeah, his laser tutorial where you just use projection mapping. That's the word. Grab an image and do some projection mapping, which is always really quick and simple. So we'll be using that as like the baseline for this, and then actually putting some proper textures on to make it look nice and realistic. So let's grab a couple more because we have 2 so far. We'll aim for. I don't like that one as much. That's kind of funky. We can do something with that. Maybe that one there as well. Cool. And let's go for a big, tall glass one. Just for reference. Yeah, let's grab you. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to save these images. Oh my god, it's just giving my face every single photo, isn't it? Okay. Lovely. Do it fast enough and nobody will see. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag these images in for some reference. That's the wrong format. That's unfortunate. I wonder what photo that was supposed to be. Ah, that one there. Okay. What if I just save that as a JPEG image? Oh well, that's all right. These will do for now. And we can actually just have this one just there off to the side. We'll do that one later. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this facade here. So we're going to start with a square. Nope, like that. We'll start with a little, no, we're going to start with a cube, sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to overlay that to there, maybe make our original photo a little bit bigger. Don't worry that it's blurry. And we will make this nice and big. Here we go. And we're going to make this the height there, which is lovely. This is actually a really cool building. I quite like this. I wonder where it is. What does that say there? I can't read that. It's unfortunate. What if New York building, YUBBAH? Strange. That's a cool looking building. I might go back and find that. Nope. Might go back and find that after this stream because that's quite cool. I would like to see what that looks like. In case anyone can't tell, I'm from Sydney. My name's Jovan Tomasevic. I make Blender videos, Unreal Engine videos, just tutorials on stuff that I have learned and really liked learning and thought would be cool for people to create. So I've done some things on virtual production. I've done some material creation, some camera work. I recently got a job at Animal Logic where I work in the layout department, so like cinematography and that kind of stuff, which is amazing. It's really, really fun, but that's as much as I'll speak on that. Yeah, so this is a really fun way to, it's a fun thing to do. I really enjoy making videos to help people learn. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm based in Sydney, in case I haven't said that already, and I'm 22. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'll probably end up saying that a lot of times if once we do start getting some viewers in, because that seems to be a very common question is, where are you from? How old are you? At least from what I've seen on some friends who go live online. That's all good. It's just very fun to create these kind of things. It's also great seeing people engage and seeing people like engage and being able to help people out. It's really fun to see people learn from my videos, because that's the main thing. Is just making sure people have a fun time on learning and not wasting too much time with like a half an hour tutorial. Obviously, this is a different version. This is a much longer kind of video than I usually make. Usually they're around 5 minutes long each, but you know, this is a different thing, and I thought it'd be fun to do. So what I've done is I've created a base square there, and I've created these little base cube, and I've created these little cubes to represent the window cutouts, and I'm just putting a little Boolean modifier on the main cube, which I'll rename to building actually. And then we're going to put the Boolean modifier, which will cut out these. And so if you have a look, when I go apply or Control A, we've got these little window cutouts, which is super cool. What I want to do next is maybe there are these lines across the building which are kind of interesting. That's done something weird there. That's okay. I might try and make another little Boolean object. Let's make some more objects. And I'll make a little crease because I think that's quite fun. You could add a little bit of depth, almost like a little ledge, which is interesting. I have a second viewer now. That's really cool. Hello to whoever has just joined in. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in. Otherwise, you know, happy to answer anything, or just happy to be here as a background, just a background conversation, which is fun. Let's see what we got here. Do I want this as a Boolean object? Yes, I do. So I'm going to put a little array modifier on, put it down the z-axis. Let's make it. It's also current. I'm not sure if my time is visible. It's not because I blocked it off. But it is currently 8:16 p.m. So it's a fun time to stream. I think I'll be streaming for probably 2 hours or so tonight. Because after that, I'm going to watch the premiere of, well, not the premiere, but I'm going to start watching Drive to Survive Season 4, which I'm very excited for. I binged the previous 3 seasons of Drive to Survive in early January, actually, when I went into quarantine with COVID. I was staying with my girlfriend who had COVID, and we watched all of season 1, 2, 3 of Drive to Survive in about a week, and were keen for the next one, which was fun. So I'm keen to get started on the new season. So what else is there in this building? There's little window sills on that. That'll be fun to make. Let's do that. Probably should have thought about that earlier. Let's think how we're going to do this. I could select all. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to create a new object and make those little window sills. So I probably should have kept the object that deleted all this, but that's okay. That's all right. This will do. Okay, so we got one there. Let's do our little array along. 3.05. Nope. Yeah, this is why. Probably should have had a bit more of a plan before I started this, but that's okay. That's what's fun about creating live, is you can make mistakes and you can fix them in real time, which is always great to do. Let's go down. Oh, -3 maybe? Where the heck did that go? Okay, let's lift you up a bit. Maybe -1.65. -1.7, -1.75. Nope, -1.675. That'll do. This, I'm putting way too much data. It's always fun to make buildings with heaps of detail, but you've got to realize as well that these are not actually going to be seen realistically. It is such minute background stuff that it's not really going to be necessary for all this, but it is always fun to make something that looks good. Okay, another mistake, that's okay. This should be a plane because I would like to extrude it after. So I'm going to grab you, I'm going to go inset that a little bit, which has made a little windowsill there, and we're going to subdivide twice there, shrink that down a bit, and now we've essentially made a little windowsill. Let's do another one at the top there actually. Okay. Oh, there's already a windowsill. Let's just make that there, that's cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab that, and those faces, delete them, select all of these faces, and we're going to extrude them. And now we have the, what would you call this? Window brackets, maybe? I'll call it that. That'll do. Okay, so we got our building, we got our window brackets. Cool. Now, there is this really funky shape on top, which I think we can do something cool with. So what I'm going to do is, we'll create another cube. Wow, surprise. And I'm just going to pause for a quick sec, and I'm just going to make sure that everything's working good and dandy. Let's have a look. That's the stream there. Give us just a sec. Let's have a look at this. Because I'm not sure if... So this is the stream information. We've got 1 like. Thank you for whoever posted that. The chat has been popped out. Okay, so that's just this here. Hi. So let's just say, feel free to ask any questions. Pop in and say hi. Or watch along. Hi. Okay, ask any questions, pop in and say hi, watch along. Okay, wonderful. Because I've posted that in the chat. There it is. Okay, cool. So there's about a 10 or 15-second delay, it seems, maybe a little bit longer, which is okay. So just know that there might be a little bit of a delay before I see your comments pop up. Cool. So we're going to extrude this out, and I actually want to adjust this a little bit for this building. No, I'm not going to adjust it too much, actually. So we've got a little one coming out there, and we're going to bring you out just over there. Cool. And now what we're going to do is, I would like to subdivide this quite a few times. Make these little loop, sorry, not subdivide, make these little loop cuts. I'll do the same on this side here. Let's just bring the thing out. Yeah, here. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to make this a wireframe, and that will make these really cool bars. But the issue is it's kind of lumpy, which I don't love. So if I make that relative, that should fix that out. Yep, lovely. And if I select that and go even, no, we're just going to keep that as relative and maybe up the thickness a little bit, maybe to 0.03. That's kind of cool. I don't love how that's coming out there though, so we're just going to chop that. Yeah, let's just go one less. We'll chop that edge vertice. How does that look? I still don't love the look of that. I'm just going to chop the whole thing. Screw it. That's all right, and we can bring that over to the edge. It's not voxelized, is it? So it's not going to have anything funky on the outside there. That's okay. That's okay. Cool. And we're just going to bring that in a little bit, and that's this little mesh thing on the outside. Now we've also got to make sure, once again, add some cubes, and we're going to boolean some stuff. Cool. I'm going to make a few of these. We're going to go some arrays. Oh, what's going on there? Cool, 1, 2, and we'll do one more. Get them down. Okay, and we'll pop those there, and we're going to pop these to the front of the building, and we shall boolean them out. Where's the boolean button gone? There we are. Wonderful. And we can delete those now. Now we've got this funky little structure going on. That's very cool. I quite like that a lot. Okay, now, is there anything else I want to do? There's these cool lines coming up the building as well, actually. you know what? I'm putting in way too much detail. I'm going to add the little shop front, and then we're going to move on to another building because that's been. You can bang these out as quick or as slow as you want. Feel free to work along as well. I forgot to mention that at the start, but a fun thing I like to do is, have this on the background while you're working your own project, because that's always quite cool to do. Is work along with something in the background. Next time I might actually add some music on as well, just some like subtle background stuff, just to add a bit of a vibe along. Okay, cool. You know what? This is going to do for now. We're just going to add a little cut. How am I going to manage this? So I can't loop cut that. Why don't I grab the knife tool and drag you across that? Beautiful. Oh, that's great. And so if I grab those, sweet. Okay, that's great news. And where does that come to? You're there. I'm going to grab that knife tool and come along to. Why don't I just loop cut that? Oh, I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but there are bush turkeys that land on my roof, which make a terrifying sound when it's nighttime. I didn't know they could fly until I started staying here, but bush turkeys can kind of fly a little bit, and they will attempt to fly and then fail and fall in a tree or on whatever's closest. And because I live on a bit of a hill, they will fall onto my roof, which is scary when I found it the first time, because you just hear something just go like a little plump, and that was not fun the first time because I thought somebody was on the roof. But it's all good. So now, one thing that we've got to make sure we do when we're making buildings is apply some materials. Now that's going to be something later, but so that it actually, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to save this. So we're going to call this YouTube stream. And we're going to go, that's definitely not how you spell YouTube. Oh well, I'll fix this later. I'm going to go 001 because this marks the first stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some materials on these. So I'm going to select those and then go select similar by perimeter. And that's going to select all my windows, and it's also selected these because they seem to have the same perimeter, but I don't like those, so they're going to be ignored. And we shall select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 here for the windows. Okay, now I'm going to go into the material settings. We're going to add a build. We're just going to, these are temp names, but we're going to go building, and we're going to go window, building 001. Cool. When we go window and we go into assign this. So now if I click off, you can see that's that, and the building is the rest of it. That's great. Okay, so we're going to select the window ones. I'm just going to come extrude them out a little bit. Select, sorry, extrude out. Okay, next step is to grab these window sills, join them to the building. Drats, that was wrong. Sorry, I've made a slight mistake. No. Cool. We're gonna grab those window brackets, give it a material and call it window brackets. Now don't worry that this is all gonna be one color. This is all gonna be done later. But we've got these lovely window brackets, which I did not array. Aha. Okay, that's all right. Let's apply. Now I can go through, make sure my material is applied, join. Sweet. Okay, lovely. Also, I wonder if I can show what that looks like. No, cavity, there we go, that shows all that stuff, all that jazz. We're gonna grab this, we're gonna call this like the cage mesh, join that to there. Far out, same thing. Make sure you apply your modifiers before you join them to things, because otherwise it's just an annoying back and forth step. Cool, so we got our building 001. Lovely. Oh, isn't that nice? Okay. And one more thing we want to do is just see this like bottom section. Oh my gosh, 2 more windows. This bottom section here is, I really like what they've done here with this separate color. So I'm going to select this face all the way around. Select. And we're going to go building 001, base. Now, Let's see what the top of this building looked like. It was flat. I don't love that, so I'm just going to make a little adjustment myself. I'm going to grab this roof here. Oh, it's 8:30 already, wow. So make a little one of these. I wonder if I bevel it at all, what would that be like? You know what? No, I'm going to bevel this one. Nope, no I'm not. I'm going to... Lord knows what I'm doing. No one's going to even notice this, but that's okay, because it's here for me to see. Cool, I got you, and I'm going to go inset, up, inset, down. So now we get a little bit of depth there, which is quite cool. Probably won't be visible, but you know, we got some depth and we know that it's there. And you know what we can always do later as well? We can chuck a bit of spray paint on the side there, put some buildings either side. Cool, we have one building here. Now, it is a very distinct building, I've noticed. Okay, that's all right. So, building number one. Lovely. Okay, we're going to move on to building number two. So let's put this into a new collection, call it building number one, and we're gonna pop this image from behind into building number one, and we will hide those two. Moving on to building number two. Just check. Sorry, I just had a little vibration. All good. Okay. Successful login. That's all good. Okay. Sorry about that. Now we've got this one, which is a much more impressive looking building. Wow, that's beautiful. So you can see it's got this lovely, like, I don't know if it's called crown molding, but it's got a beautiful facade. And there's these two on the outside as well, actually. What did the outside of the other thing look like? Because I really liked, that's too low quality. This is beautiful. This has given us a lot to work with. Okay, also this little shop front down the bottom. That's great. That's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to try and fly through this one a little bit quicker because as you see, things can tend to take a bit of time. And I gotta make sure that I get to bed at a decent time as well. I'm doing a big drive tomorrow. So we'll make a little roof there. It's not going to be perfect. Don't worry about that. No, I don't need to improve the increase at all. 4 people. Wow. Okay. Hi, everybody who's watching. Thank you for joining in. I hope you enjoy. If you're just joining now, I'm creating a little Spider-Man scene. I should probably keep that reference image up. If you didn't see it in the thumbnail, I'm making a little Spider-Man short. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm making a little, recreating a little thing that I saw from TikTok. This little like Spider-Man short. I've made a version of already. You know, nice realistic looking city with some web physics is what I'm going to do as well, which I'll show you how to do in a bit as well. But for now, we're just building out this city. There you go, look at that. So we grab some little Spider-Man webs. You can see there it's attached up in there, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to recreate that scene with you guys. Won't be able to render it today, obviously, and there'll be bits that won't be completely finished, but it's a good little like walkthrough to show you how to create something like that in not a massive amount of time. It's just the more buildings, obviously, the more like detail you want and the more realistic you want, the more time it will take. But there's some really cool things you can do in a short-ish amount of time, which is always fun. Drop back down to 2. That's all good. Thanks for coming, guys and girls, and whoever is here. There we go. So we're just making these little columns, which I love. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that, and we're going to go select, checker, deselect. And now this is giving me a really good idea. I'm going to go proportional editing. I think that's the one that I want. No, I don't want proportional editing. I just want to extrude and bring it in a bit. And that should, if I'm correct, give me this depth. Oh, yes. Okay, that'll do. And we're just going to make that tall again. There we go. So we got some nice column here. Again, this is not going to be visible, but that's okay. It's visible for me, so I want to make it pretty. Except I'm absolutely not doing that. That would take way too long. let's just do this. Select you, checker deselect, checker deselect again. Nope. Okay, doesn't want to checker deselect. That's all right. I'll go 1, 2. Okay, one row at a time, I guess. Select, checker deselect, extrude, in, select, checker deselect, extrude, in. Sick. That's definitely not the same as the original image, but that's okay. We're allowed to make adjustments, aren't we? Cool. That's kind of funky. Definitely not as beautiful as the original, but that is a-okay. We're going to array modifier across. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. And then we're going to go array modifier to go up. God, I'm a little bit thirsty. For anybody who knows me in real life, I like to talk a lot, but by God, I am wearing myself out for my speech already, which is something that doesn't normally happen. So maybe if I'm not going to go there. If I stream more, maybe I'll speak less, which is not a bad thing. That's all right. I'm going to stop waffling. Let's go to here, and let's go up one. You know what I want to do? I would like to duplicate this because I can see these ones here are actually smaller. So I'm going to scrap you guys. Get out of here. Grab this. Pop that there. Bing, bam, boom. Sweet. Lovely. Cool. Extrude out. Teeny. In. Small. And grab this. Extrude out. Small. And I'm going to array modify this one. 2.45. Smaller, I guess. That's okay. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go up now. Now we can go up. Cool. 2, 0. Nope. 1.5. Nope. 1.2. Okay. You know what? My building is going to be different to this building because this is not working for me. I'm going to grab a cube. Oh dear. Have I made a mistake? Yes, I have. That's okay. Clear away. We're not doing any more arraying for now. We're going to go to here. We're going to make this little bit. Oh, time flies. Let's chuck you there. We realize that you're not in position, so we're going to pop you there. Lovely. So, cool. And we're going to go out, up, in, up. My goodness. Okay. I'm going to grab you and I'm going to go bloop, subdivide. And we're going to checker deselect you because you look amazing. And extrude in. Sick. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Let's just do... Nope. Okay, let's not do that. Ignore my thought that I was having subdivide twice. Doesn't want to do it. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's grab the roof. Drats. That's okay. We're going to grab that, delete that. Faces only. Don't care about you lot. We're going to go in, out, up. Beautiful. Okay, that's totally nothing like the original, but who cares? We're making our own New York. Ah. 1, 2. Jeez, what's going on here? 3, 4. Delete you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? That's annoying. That's what that is. Fill. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, next time I'm definitely adding music because I Would love some music to listen to right now. Okay, but gotta set that up beforehand because do not want to get slapped by the copyright bots. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 5. And now we can go up. Okay. 0, 1, up. Beautiful. Look at that. And now we can quickly model that. Sick. Lovely. So far we got this little frontage here, which again, something, oh, am I going to project this with the texture? Hello, Jagrat Patel, sorry, I'm bad with names. My name's Yovan, but it's spelled with a J, so maybe look at this one. I'm not going to project these textures. This one potentially, because it's a nice high quality one, but if I show you this other one, like this is a gross low poly texture. So what I'm going to be doing is, there's a add-on called, which I haven't installed on this version of Blender. All good. We're going to install an add-on called Blend Kit, I think it is, which has a bunch of textures from a place called HDRI Haven. And it's a really quick and easy way to get textures into your scene. High quality, like realistic looking textures. Blend Kit, here we go. So I might actually shivers. It's not Blend Kit. Here it is. Okay, so this little guy, we're going to switch him on. Don't hear that. It also comes with models as well, which is beautiful. So have a look here, look at that. As if on cue, there's a Spiderman model. But we don't want that. What we're going to do is we click on this little Blend Kit add-on here. We go to Materials, and we're going to search for, say, just a brick texture. And I can find any of these textures, which are pretty high quality. There are some, like not as good ones. There are some photo scans. We find any of these. Let's just say that I want to go with, that's an ugly texture. New York would never. All right, let's just use this one for examples. So we select your material. So we'll say it's this building behind. We're going to grab our little brick texture and see how it's going green. That means that it's downloading. And then if I go over to my material tab here, gotta make sure that I select that. It should, download, and then it will apply on. So instead of doing projection mapping, which is always a great idea, I'm just using the textures as a kind of like, I'm using the backgrounds as a base. And going from there. And the reason that I'm not doing projection mapping with these textures is because I only want to create like maybe 3 or 4 buildings and then scatter them throughout and make the scene like that. And what on earth is going on with this? Oh, that's before. So yeah, I only want to make a couple of buildings and scatter them throughout. And obviously, it's going to be quite flat at the moment. I'm in material preview view. But when you go back, right, it looks good. I'll show you the photos that I had before. So you can see here, lol, that one was done poorly, but you can make, when it's in motion, you can use this kind of way to get a bunch of buildings. And if I just show you here, this building, this one, a bunch of these are all the same building, just duplicated, and then with different textures popped on top, which is something that you can't really get from your like projection mapping. And also another issue with projection mapping is it doesn't do the sides of buildings. I want to be able to do a bit of modeling on the sides. Obviously, a lot of them are just going to have like, side by side by side. But sometimes I want to turn it on its side and have something here, so I could do that. And that's why I like to use something like this. But with these, for example, these are quite cool. I might just project this texture on and use that to add a little bit of extra detail. Yeah, that's all good. Happy to help. Yeah, it's a fun little way to do things. Now, I'm just going to continue on here and grab. If you have any other questions or whatever, feel free to pop them in the chat. I'm happy to help out wherever I can, and hopefully can help. I'm obviously not an expert in this, but it's a fun thing to do and to learn along. Especially fun to learn along with people. So I think that's always a great thing, especially about the Blender community, is everyone's really keen to learn. So let's grab this. Oh goodness. Come on. 1, 2, 3. I have made a mistake again. That's okay. There are no mistakes in art, just happy accidents, as I think that was Bob Ross who said that. Phil. Okay, I'm glad we got a little awning there. That'll do. I just want to make sure that it actually reaches, because that is going to be an issue otherwise. We're going to go down, insert, up. Another fun way to add a bit of detail is just, make these like levels, you go extrude, scale, extrude, up, extrude, scale, extrude, up. You can kind of create these funky little levels, which, from close don't look like anything. From afar, it makes it look like you put a lot more detail in than you actually did. Let's just shrink this down a little bit though, because that's coming out a little bit too much. But yeah, you can add like some cool, funky little details with that. Now, I got this. Once again, spending way too much time on a building, but that's okay because it is fun. Let's build some windows and then move on to the next one, because we don't want to spend the whole time making. We do not want to spend the whole time making buildings, although that is always a very important part of it. I might also just grab some buildings from a previous project that I've done, just so we can move along in a bit. Let's grab you, and we'll go there. Cool, same thing. We'll give that a little window material. And then grab this, put that there, and I'll make the window sills actually in, like on the actual object itself this time. So let's move you forwards. Yeah, lovely. Okay. So I'm going to go up, up. Oh, no. Scale up on the z-axis, scale down there. Scale up on the z-axis. And then I'm going to do the same. Just duplicate that, rotate 90 degrees, and shrink you. Cool, and I'm going to grab those two, and I'm going to call that window brackets. Okay. Sorry. Let's see. We will drop that a little bit. I think I might have to watch some more streams as well of people doing this, because yeah, it's always good to see what other people are doing for inspiration. How they interact with the chat, how they keep their things nice and spicy and interesting. I might do some streams in the future where I get you guys to suggest some things to make, which can always be cool. We can do some viewer participating ones. Maybe set up a Discord. That'll be obviously in the future, but set up some way for people to get involved, because that's always a fun thing as well. Is having people create together. Like I've said, is a super fun way of doing things. Collaboration is amazing. Cool. Look at this. We got some buildings, beautiful. Some windows, lovely. And we'll go up. That's the wrong way. That's also the wrong way. That's interesting. Must have messed up with the axes there. That's okay. We'll pop you up there. Down. This is a bit backwards, but that's okay. Oh, minus 0.15. Minus 0.450. Sweet. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Excuse me. I quite like this gothic vibe that's going on. Oh well. Let's just do those two. 1, 2, and then select, duplicate, move you up, move you down. Cool. So look at that. We got another part of the building coming along here nicely. That's okay, just to stick on the edge there. And what else do I want for this? Some awnings on the top, and then we'll move on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, and I'm going to go up, down, subdivide a few times, and then checker deselect, extrude, jump that in. Look at that. Just so much detail can be made just from a few little checker deselects. Subdivide, check a deselect. Let's go out this time. And I'm going to grab that, grab this, and pop that there. Cool, bit more detail, that's nice. Now, this roof here, I would like to do something like that. God, this is a beautiful building. This is very lucky with these references. Often it's quite hard to find references, but yeah, these two are great that I've found. Very happy with them. Let's go. Select, extrude out, select, extrude in. There goes another bush turkey falling on the roof. Cool, and one last thing that I'm gonna make, sorry, two last things I'm gonna make for this building here. Oh, I gotta do the doors as well, jeez, okay. Yeah, things always end up taking a lot longer than you think. I'll say that something's gonna take an hour or 5 minutes or this and that, and it never does. But that's okay. As long as you got the time for it and you're not, you know, taking up somebody else's time too much. It's always important to have a rest as well. So at the 1 hour mark, which is in 10 minutes, I'm going to stand up, grab a bit of water, and I'll come back to complete this. I don't want to, overdo myself on my first one, but it's fun to do. Regardless, this is great. Let's make a little. What am I making here? There you go, look at that. We got this little, that looks like a creeper from Minecraft. That is not what I intended. Oh well, that's pretty cool though. I think that's funky. Pop you in. And let's just drag one down there. Pin set. Cool. And we will array modify that across a few times. You know what? Doesn't have to be the same as a building as well. I always end up making something, like trying to make something that's like perfect with the building, but gotta realize that it's for my own project. Like I don't have to make it, you don't have to make it exactly like something that exists. Because that's just copying, and we don't like that. Which is funny because that's exactly what I'm doing. With the TikTok that I saw, but that's okay. It is great to take inspiration from people, from very talented people. I'm not sure if you've seen the channel before, but there's a creator called Cinematic Captures who works in Unreal Engine, and they have some incredible stuff. I'll pull up their page real quick. God, some of the work they do is just, jeez, I'm not on a spelling day. Cinematic Captures. Like, if you haven't seen them, sorry, I'm on my alt account, but we'll subscribe on that anyway. If you haven't seen their work before, incredible. Like, don't you love ads that way? Don't you love ads? Great, great fun. A Rococo suit is incredible. I would love to use one of those one day. Far out, they uploaded in 8K. That would have taken forever. Why am I trying? I've got a bloody 1080p or 4K monitor. I don't have an 8K monitor. I don't need that. But like the work this guy does is incredible. Look at this. It's beautiful. You can also see looks like some Megascan stuff in the background. That's great. This is just, yeah. I tried to make a little Star Wars short. They had a competition a few months ago, which was really fun, just to do some filmmaking in Unreal, and that was great. I'm not gonna spend the stream watching their content, but that's an incredible channel, and I urge anybody to check them out if they have time, because it's really inspirational. Okay, so I've got that. I've got the roof. Yeah, I'm not gonna make the exact roof that they did. That's too much. In, up, in, down, in, up, out, in, down. Cool. Let's just go one more up. In. Look at that. That's terrible. All right. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. Building. Now, let's join all this together. I am going to pop this into a collection. Call this building number 2. Oh, building version 002. And I'm going to then duplicate this collection. Yep. Separated. So sometimes when I've got a lot of cool like individual assets like this, I like to make a duplicate of it and then separate it all because I'm going to join all this together. No, I'm not. Why would I join all? I'm going to join it so it's easy to move. I could apply it to an empty actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to apply it to an empty. So columns. Windows, we got those 2 materials. We got bricks. We got, this is going to be columns as well. We got some more columns. Far out, this building has a lot of columns. And we're going to stretch. Geez, these columns look a lot worse. I did not. Oh well. Let's just make some windows because we forgot to make windows, which are super important. Let's go array. Seems like I've said array way too many times today, and that is fun. I'll be having nightmares about this modifier at the end of this day. 2.25. Sick. Okay. Apply. Cool. Whatever. Duplicate. Scale down. Scale up. Oh, no. Scale down. Scale out. Individual origins. There we are. So these are some windows. Lovely. Or doors or whatever they want to be. It will be too far away. I can almost guarantee that this is still going to be too far away for me to see, and I won't be looking to slow down. But oh well. For the fun of it, and this way also, you have a really cool collection of windows. Bam, bam, window, assign. Sick. Okay. Okay. Save, hide. What? Why is that not hidden? Oh, I didn't put this in there. Okay, this goes into building number 2. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick little pause. How do I? We're just gonna pop these 2 buildings back actually for now. No, not the separated one. This one. Grab those 2. Hide the empty. Not the empty. I guess it is an empty, but okay. We're gonna pop these 2 over here. I'm gonna pop a little image up on the screen, and I'm gonna go bam, bam. I'm just gonna grab a drink of water real quick, and I will be back in just a sec. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type here, be back in 3 minutes. Cool. There we are. Cool. I'll be back in 3 minutes. See you in just a sec. Okay, hello, I'm back. Let's make sure this is still working. Hello, I'm back. Yes, it is. Test. Make sure this works. Test. Sweet, okay. Let's get back to it. Back in 3 minutes. We are back. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. So far, gosh, this building looks so much more beautiful comparatively. That's brutalist. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh well. We move on. Look at that, far out. It's alright, should be right. Okay, next building. We're gonna do one of these two more. You know what? No, we're not. So we've got these two buildings here, which I might create later on, but I'm gonna bring in some buildings that I've created before because this stuff takes a long time and it is always great to come with pre-made assets, and that's something you can use these buildings for as well, is as pre-made assets. So I'm gonna grab this little scene here that I created earlier, and we're gonna make our scene. I wonder if I've also got the could I had a master file with these before. Open research. Nope, that's not what I want. Let's not. Master. Look at this. Okay, so in preparation for this, I created a little master scene, and if I go into solid view, have a look at this. Wow, looks like such a well built out city. I also did like a little. Okay, Spider-Man's disappeared, but if we just have a look, right? Look at this little swinging animation you can do. This is literally just from a curve, a little Bezier curve, apply a camera to it, and you can make some cool stuff. Now, you wouldn't know that these are literally three of the same buildings, just duplicated, la-di-da-di-da. It's the same building over and over again. Some of them stretch and squish, this and that. I got a little bridge that I made. I think it's the Manhattan Bridge. Uh, this was fun to do, actually. Look at that. Same thing. Array modifiers, booleans, this and that. Works great. But like, look at that. Like, you can't, when it's in motion, it's, look, I haven't applied materials to them. When it's in motion, you can't tell what the buildings are. You get your sky, you get your different assets, and you can't tell. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a couple buildings from not this, from this, because I think these are the same buildings, just textured. We'll grab these. Also, if you've seen Ian Hubert's video on, I think he made one on fire escapes as well. A great way to add a bit of realism is to add some fire escapes. Now, I don't have fire escapes made yet, but I might add some in a bit. So I'm going to grab this little thing. Do not want that. Go away, web. We're going to be making it from scratch, aren't we? We got, look at this, 1, 2, 3 buildings, 4 buildings there. Sweet, we're going to copy them, delete all those keyframes because we do not want the keyframes. And we're going to move over to our scene, and we're going to hide you two. We don't want you. Go away, go away. And we're going to paste these in. We're going to pop these into a little. Here goes this frame rate. That's all right. We'll pop these into one called previous builds. Now, look at this. We got some buildings in here. If you see this clipping, fun trick. If you see this clipping here, go down to view, clip end, make it 1,000,000, make it whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't have a camera scene, do I? That's all good. Look, that texture is mugged up a little bit. We'll fix them up. I've added some little railings up here, some cardboard boxes. That's nice. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to build out a little city. So, let's grab the buildings that we created, which are down here. Oh, look at them, so small, so cute. Okay, We're going to duplicate them too. We're going to move them into whatever previous builds, doesn't matter. And we are going to make ourselves a city. Scale up, get big. Probably don't need them this big actually. I've just realized these are going to be 100 meters tall. Look at you. We don't need you to be 100 meters tall. We don't need you to be 100 meters tall. Bloody scale down by 5, scale down by whatever. That'll do. That shouldn't affect much. Cool. Let's make ourselves a street. No, we're not. We have to texture these. Aha. Silly me. Okay, so I'm rendering this in cycles with the GPU. Let's make sure that I've got the correct stuff. Yeah, I'm going to use CUDA. I haven't actually tested which one's faster. That's okay. Max samples. I mean, you can bump it up, but my computer will die if I do that. We'll switch on some motion blur, color management. We'll play around with that later. Light paths. Yeah, that's fine. We'll chuck a denoiser on, open image, optics. I'd like some optics denoising, and viewport denoising, I'll go optics as well. I don't know. We'll see what's better. Now, what we're going to do is to make some realistic skies. Now you can, we'll chuck it into render view. It might take a few minutes. It says it will. No, chill. So what you can do is go color, sky texture, and then changes to like this Hosek Wilkie one. Look at that. You get a cool looking little sky. But we can do one better. What we're going to do is we go into edit, preferences, add-ons, and we're going to type in, it's dynamic sky. So we just type in sky. Look at that. Bam. Turn on dynamic sky. What's this magic UV? That'll be interesting. We'll look at that later. Magic sky. I'm going to press N, go back into my layout, press N to open up my little side bar there, and I'm going to go create. Look at this. We got an ivy generator. We don't want some ivy. Dynamic sky. Create. Bam. Now, why isn't anything happening? It says here, please select the world name dynamic one. What's going on? Is my face frozen? Oh no. Okay. Hi, sorry about that. I don't know why that froze. That's strange. Maybe it hit like an hour mark? I don't know. Sorry about that. If we miss anything, make sure my sound's still. Froze. That's strange. The sound's still there. That's odd. Oh well. I wonder if sorry, I'm just gonna check now. Okay, so the sound was there. It's just my face was frozen. That's odd. Anyway, if it happens again, please do let me know. We're going to go back. We're going to go into the shading tab, select this little button here saying object, go to world, and change our world to dynamic. Wow, okay. And now when I go into rendered view, we got some skies. Now, don't worry, looks a bit like shit now, but that's okay. Look at all these adjustment stuff that we can play with. Now, a quick little one to do, you just go into this little section here. Maybe we bump up the brightness a bit. We don't want it bright. No, we want it. Don't want it nighttime. Play around with the settings here, obviously, but I'm going to bump the sky color to a nice, rich blue. Lovely. And then horizon color. Okay, look. You know what? No, I'm going to embrace the high contrast nature of my scene. Maybe not that high contrast, but we'll embrace it. Okay, that works. Cloud opacity, very opaque. Okay, not very opaque. That's a good amount of clouds, sun control. Oh, okay, so that's affecting down there. That's cool. I quite like that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a little camera, which is, where's my camera? That's silly. I don't want a camera there. Scale them up by 10 so I can see it, and I'm going to just shoot down there. Control-Alt-0 zeroes out your camera, and we are going to show a bit of the sky in there. Cool. We'll shoot down. That's okay. Hello, I've got a few more viewers. Hi, I'm creating a little Spiderman short. I don't have the image again. Making a little realistic New York. I'm going to be making some realistic web physics based off a TikTok that I saw, which had some really cool Spider-Man VFX in it. I've created some buildings in this stream so far. Sorry, a moth just flew into my window and that scared the shit out of me. Great, this is live. Oh wow. We got a little funky building there with some nice details on it. Got another little simple one. These are based off some reference images, and these are some ones that I just created earlier for a test run. There we go. Look at that. We got some stuff on here. Got a whole bunch of buildings. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab. So we've got our kind of realistic looking sky. Okay. I'm sure there's ways to make it look better, add a bit of contrast, this and that, but that's okay. We've got our buildings. So what I want to do is I want to layer out a little scene here. And I'm going to go into this building here first. Why am I layering? I've got to body texture them. It's okay. So, like I said before, to one of the commenters, Jagat Patel, sorry with names, we're going to find some textures for this. So, I wonder if we're going to go into this little Blender Kit add-on, and look at that. Oh, look at all these wonderful textures. Concrete panels. Oh, that would work very well for this here, wouldn't it? I hope. I wonder if it's actually going to work. Because it is a pretty flat texture. Now, okay, look at this tiling. That is gross. We don't like tiling. Our textures. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to here and we're going to say, what does this say? Parameter. This is going to be something that I'm going to go into to have a look at later because that seems quite cool, but I have no idea how to play with that. Damn, that's unfortunate. So, look at all this tiling. Terrible, gross. I'm going to bump up, but wrong way. I'm going to make the tiling a bit more realistic, which is not that. And we're going to UV unwrap him for a little smart UV project. Oh, please don't crash. So we're going to sit here and wait for that not to crash. And back to whatever this is. That's great. Look, it's a lot of playing around. That's 3D work in general is just a whole lot of playing around. But that's part of the fun of it, isn't it? Bit of learning, bit of playing, bit of fun. Who doesn't like that? Now, windows. We can get a window texture from here, I think. Yeah, I'll give this a go. So that's interesting. I wonder. So I'm just going to take a little sidebar over here, grab a little cube, bring it up by 50, and we're going to attach this facade. Please don't ruin my entire job. Okay, great. We're going to subdivide. That's way too many subdivisions. That's going to kill the computer. 2.5, whatever. Sick. I don't care. 2. I'm going to give you a little cube projection. Oh, what? Nope, Smart UV project. Sick. That's so wrong. So sometimes Smart UV projecting doesn't always work. What we're going to do is we're going to go into shading. We're going to grab this little texture. That looks pretty interesting. That has potential. And if I drop it down, like way down, that's the wrong way, 0.05. Interesting. Okay. That's okay. That looks like shit. Interesting. That could be a fun way, but we're not going to play around with that now because we've got a time crunch. So, look at that. Little concrete building. Who doesn't like concrete? We're going to go building base, and we're going to grab another material. I forgot the windows. Sorry about that. Grab a darker concrete for this one, maybe. Bunker, maybe. Concrete raw, concrete strips. Concrete block. Procedural concrete. There we are. That's what we like to see. I mean, yeah, no, I'm happy with that actually. I'm very happy with that. Windows, window brackets, we're going to make a metallic, a matte metal maybe? I don't know if that's going to come up with anything. Car paint matte, interesting. Metal scratched. You know what? We'll give this one a go. Oh, I like the look of that. Cool, windows. So, for a window, you can just make it like a glossy texture, like a really, like a glossy texture with a glossiness one. You can make it reflective, a bit of that. I want to see what this window glass does. You know what? That's fine. That's nice, actually. And then we're just going to make this one up here. I reckon giving that like a bronze or a brass texture could be interesting. I wonder what that would do. Bronzed it. Ah, interesting. That's very cool. Now, one thing I did forget to do is it's often nice to give the roof of the building a slightly different color. So if I match that with the base, you can just see like that separation there. You can even then like kind of insert this again, drop it down, and then you can give that section there, that section there, you can give that the original building concrete color, which adds a little bit to it. I think that looks pretty cool. Now, I mean, I spent time doing this. When you do this kind of stuff, it's often good to make it a little bit see-through with a transmission node or a transparent node, which you can put like some chairs and stuff behind it. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to smash through these pretty quickly. But that's always a pretty good option. We're going to make some of these ones stone now, these columns. Now, as I said before, I could just use a projection mapping bit. That's crazy. Marble. Let's see what marble looks like. There we are. There we go. I like that. I like the look of that. Now let's hope that this doesn't mess it all up. Love a bit of loading. Great, that's messed it up. Command Z me. Get back, get back. Oh, I guess it doesn't really look marbly. Interesting. I wonder what happens if I make this go marble. Yeah, no, that needs to be projected like that. We're going to do the same window brackets thing as well as before. Oh, please don't crash on me. I think I need a texture coordinate. and tiling, is that node? Mapping node, yes. Mapping node. Now, look, I'm not the best at node building, but UV into vector, and then we're going to pop you into there. And now hopefully I can play around with this a little bit. Okay, sweet. Good news. That looks crap. That still looks crap. Why does everything look like shit? It is different when it's in render view. You know what? Far away. That'll do. Not the prettiest, but it will do. Glass. Smudge glass. We'll give that one a go. What did I just give smudge glass to? Oh, okay. Now I seem to have made a mistake. Window. Okay, no, never mind. No, I have not. Smudge glass. And we'll give you a regular glass. You're welcome. Window glass. Sick. Okay. Window brackets. Give a little bit of metal. I don't like that. Nah. Nah, we're going to change that. You know what? Maybe I wonder if we go like bougie and put a little gold on there. What that's going to look like. I mean, look, it stands out way too much. That's cool. Let's try this. See what that does. Sometimes there's a bit of playing around funkiness. Yeah. Should be right. So we got two nice little buildings there. Now, let's make a little city layout. So all we really got to do is just kind of like pop some of these buildings, pop them on little right angles. Ah, okay. That's why we put stuff on the edges. We're gonna grab a little graffiti decal. Make it transparent. Okay. Just a sec. Just gonna pop this off for a second. Hold on. Sorry about that. I just had a little guest to the room, so we're not putting guests on camera yet. That'll be in the future. Look at this, some murals, decals. I want them to be transparent though. I want to be able to stick some of these things, some wall art. Let's just go. Look, graffiti, wall art, design. Creative Commons. Oh well. Let's grab this little guy. It's gonna look very interesting when it's stuck up on you. Oh, import images. I don't have that one. That node added on. I wonder if I can make it a bit more opaque. I can. Let's drop that a bit, pop you there. And we need to move it up on the x-axis. There we go, get a little graffiti mural on the side there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chuck another building just next to it, so that you can't really notice what's going on. So we're just kind of going to layer through these buildings. And then when you see it through the viewport, make that 90. Pop that there. You just kind of start to populate your scene with these buildings. And you can make some cool things. So, what else we got? We can pretend it's like a little intersection as well. Another thing to do as well, which I saw in the original video, was he made a little street with some cars moving along, which is a great idea as well. The only issue with that is it means you've got to obviously model a street as well, which is a little bit difficult, but that's okay. That'll just be something for a future project when there's a bit more time. Let's pop that there, make it a bit bigger. And then we're going to grab this guy. I want to replace some of the textures in this because I'm not a big fan of that, of some of that. Where even is it? Is it out of sight? Oh, okay. Now, like what I did with the tools thing up there, you got to increase the clipping distance of your camera. So that is just here. Look at that, see? Automatically you got so much more stuff going on in your scene. I put a sun in here, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I wonder if I like adjust the shadows. So that'll be something that comes later as well. So, make a big tall building like this. This is one that I made previously. It's literally just the same windows over and over. Little inset thing there. A little bit of a beveled edge on the side. I'm going to hit save because that's going to mess up. And it's just a nice tall, like, you know, basic bitch, but like expected New York building, you know. Get these big skyscraper monstrosities out of the way. So you can make it as big or as small as you want. And another fun thing you can do with them is you can stretch it out, make it smaller, Let's see, I think I put some stuff on the side, didn't I? And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to change the glass material to one of the ones in Blanket. So we're going to grab this here, and we're going to pop on that. And we're going to try it with maybe some, I don't know where it just went. Let's try it with some brown glass. I wonder what that's going to look like. Where on earth did it go? It's hiding behind, okay. Interesting. So you just kind of got to layer things. One thing you don't want to do is have that you can see there. If I was to render this, you wouldn't really be able to tell that's there. You can see in the background there that it can be seen that the building's not supposed to be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Interesting. I'm just going to chuck some buildings in front of it. Got a couple more down here. Pop you behind. Pop it down there. Still behind. There we go. And I think there's another one down here. What's this one look like? Yeah, so this one we're going to change up a bit as well. I wonder if I make a clay one. I've already got that texture. Yeah, this bit can go a little bit long, as you can see. The more buildings you have, the longer that'll take, and then it takes obviously a while to render it, to set up the scene a bit, but you know, you spend a bit of time on it, you can make some cool looking stuff. It's just about how much time you have and how much you're willing to spend on something. Also, most projects aren't made in a day. So that's another point you should keep in mind. Where the heck is this building? Pull you in front. Wonder why it's black on top. If I delete that face. Oh, geez. Okay. Interesting. That's strange. Now that looks a little bit cluttered, doesn't it? I think this building is really sick, so I want to kind of spotlight it a bit. I'm going to grab maybe this one here. Nope. I'm going to grab one of these. Grab this, and we're going to move it up, and we're going to change some of the textures on it. Yeah, so you can see all that work that I put at the bottom of it. You can't see that it's there. And so if I was making like a proper scene, I'd fill this out. Like if I was making a scene with some flooring and with some roads, I'd fill this out more. But as you can see, it's not really one of those kind of scenes, so it's not as necessary. I want to change its glass to the smudge glass. I want to see what that does. Fuck all. Okay. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit save and render on this. And while I wait for this to render, I'm going to have a quick little sip and look at that. Okay. So look, you got a bit of a stain here. What we want to do next is fill up. Look at that, you can still see some things there. We want to fill it up with some other things like scaffolding, maybe some rubbish, some little things on top of the buildings. I can't see anything. Where's all my mini assets gone? Good for you down there. Look, so we can get some cardboard boxes. Wow. I mean, obviously it sounds silly, but you start to pop things around and about, and it just kind of fills out the scene a bit more. You sort of pop as many little bits of detail as you can, and that'll help your scene come to life a little bit more as well. So, for example, we'll grab this little bit of scaffolding. If we just pop that on top there, like obviously it's not a lot, but it just gives it a little bit of something, which wasn't previously there. Now, this blend kit also comes with models, so we can probably even find some scaffolding in here. No results found. No, we cannot. Maybe some building materials or a building itself. Look at that. So there are paid ones in here. That's cool. Look, you learn something every day. There's some other buildings in here. That's interesting. Very fast. Concrete. Yeah, look, you can fill your scene out with all these different items. Oh, you know what we're gonna look up? We're gonna look for fire escape, because that can always be a great way to add a bit to your scene. And if not, we might have to make one with Ian Hubert's help. Fire stairs, maybe that would be called. Oh, bin. Please say I grab that. Here we go. Okay, bin, come into my scene. Where are you? It's just downloading. That's good. Now, fire stairs. That's unfortunate. Because yeah, that does help out a bit to the scene as well. Wooden stairs, brownstone stairs. See, this is a good idea if you want to make some straight level buildings. Maybe some pallets. We'll add some of those. There you go. That's what you want. That's all right. Bit of an angle. We want to pop something along there. Let's look up a downtown shot in New York. That's so cool. It's a beautiful city. Can't wait to go back. I went once a couple years ago for 2 weeks, and it was incredible. And I'm yearning to return. Let's chuck. Move that one back a bit, maybe. What if I put it on its side? There's nothing on it, that's all. Oh, you know what we can do with this one? We can grab all the, not crap, but all this stuff at the front. We go a little, bam, delete. Ah, I deleted too much. Still too much. Keep that, keep that, keep that. Gosh, what am I deleting? Oh, oh, that's interesting there. I wonder why that's all being deleted. All of this stuff's going. Okay. Yeah, so no, I want to keep all that. And now it should be better. Cool. That's a bit better. We'll chuck a little different texture on there. Oh well. That's pink marble building. Why not? Who cares? Hello to the new viewer that's just joined. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat there. Or if you want to have any suggestions as well, pop them there. Or just feel free to watch along. I'm making a little scene, little Spider-Man short, inspired by a video I saw on TikTok by a really cool and talented user. Oh, let's line that up there. You can see obviously it's a little bit janky at the moment, but we're just kind of filling out the scene, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. Now, if you wanted this for a vertical format, it's chucking a little 1920 by 1080, and you can see already how much easier that is. No need to worry about all this excess space, which is what we're going to do. We're going to make this little shorts. What we're also going to do is we're going to add some camera shake to our camera. So we're going to go to our graph editor, and I made a video about this previously, but essentially what you want to do is you want to select your camera. I'm going to set a keyframe at the start for location rotation, and I'm going to go down to modifiers, add a modifier, add a noise modifier, and I think it's just going to add on one at a time, if I remember correctly. Now, this doesn't want to show. There we go. So you look here. When I hit play, it's going to play this really abrupt noise. No, it's not going to play an abrupt noise. Is that even moving? It genuinely doesn't look like it's moving, does it? I cannot tell. What if I up the strength to like 50? Okay, so it is moving. That's cool. That's good to know. Sometimes you have to play around with this quite a bit. Okay. Cool. So we're just going to chuck a few of these on. Yeah, find your little noise modifier wherever they may lie. Cool. So same thing here. That's interesting that it's not showing much. That's way too noisy. Z location, we'll have one for that as well. Drop that one down to 2, and let's drop that one down to 2. Let's pop some rotation ones. The rotation's where it really gets going. Look at that. See, already pump the scale up to 5, to 10, to 50, to 100. Whoops. 0.2. Offset. 0.3. And we're going to add, then we want, your pitch and your yaw. So we're going to drop that down to 0.1, 200 maybe, something crazy. 0.05. That feels like I'm on a bloody boat, doesn't it? All right, we can adjust this all later as well. That's okay. Cool. That's just giving me a little bit of a seizure, which is not great. Oh, I gave the strength 500. Whoops. I wonder what's making it go crazy like that. It must be the X rotation. Yeah. And we're gonna start it. We're gonna start it looking over there. Put my little guy there, little cursor there, delete you. And you can obviously keyframe your own animation in, but we don't want to go down, do we? Yeah, I really don't want to go down that low. At all, far out, I'm silly there. Thank goodness I spotted it. So we're gonna go. Oh, goodness. The more stuff you add in and the more times you try and play it back in real time, it's gonna mess up a bit. In these kind of situations, I can just add a building down below again. Most of the time you don't notice. Make a little duplicate. And in this specific situation, I'm just gonna select all of this and just delete that. Oh no, what have I done? That's all right. Materials. Sweet. Let's grab that. Let's go to there. Let's make sure it's lifted up high. Sweet. We can obviously adjust the noise modifiers later as well. Oh, why is that going on there? Cool. Okay. Where'd you go? Graph editor. Cool, sweet. Okay, so we've got our buildings, we've got a little setup. We're gonna do a little render of one frame here and see what you look like. Cool. Now you can see that's a really blue sky, and I don't love that. So I'm gonna jump back into here, drop down my sky color to just a natural lighter blue. And what we can do as well, which I almost did at the beginning, what I said I was gonna do at the end when I get my coloring up, we can up the contrast. Now we can change this to a standard look. That's gross. Filmic, yeah. Filmic log, that's kind of raw vibes. That's if we want to do some color grading. We don't need a false color. We can just go into Filmic. So that's your none. That's your very high contrast. I wonder what Filmic raw looks like. Jeez, that's flat. What comes out of my Blackmagic camera? Far out. Okay, look. That kind of crunches the blacks a lot, but that's okay. What I want to do is I want to grab this, make it a little Blackmagic cam, 35 millet, and double check that that's all good. base of the buildings wise. Cool. So, oh, what's going on with that? Why is that moving around? It's not supposed to move around. Okay, it's stuck up there. It's all good. Cool. So, the final steps that we're gonna do is I gotta bring across the crane that I made. So this crane. It's essentially just a box, little cube. Sorry. You get a little cube and you go modifier wireframe. So you give it a wireframe and you triangulate it. And you put the triangulate above the wireframe like that, and you got this. You got this cool looking thing. Some cool shapes. You can adjust where you want it to go, and you just array it, stretch it off a bit, and you can turn that into this kind of crane here. And as for this piece, it's just a bunch of different shapes that I extruded down. Now I'm going to bring that across into my scene, and I'm going to quit this. We're not going to save you. Please let me paste it in. Sweet. So bring this closer to the lens. Lovely. Now if I do that, we've got our little crane. Look at that. That looks great. I like that. Now, to make the web, we'll give you a little test render as well. To make the web, we're going to do a little cloth simulation. I'm going to have a video coming out about this hopefully tomorrow on how to make your little web in Blender. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a cloth sim to create that. So to start, we grab a circle and we're going to reduce the vertex count down to 16. Then we're going to go Tab F to fill it and then I to inset it. So we've filled the circle. We created a circle, just a flat one. We've dropped the amount of vertices down to 16 and we've filled it in. Now we're going to inset it by going I and then I'm going to type 0.2. And I'm going to do that a couple times just to make it the web. So obviously right now it doesn't actually look like a web, but what I want to do now is I would like to subdivide it a little bit more. So I'm going to grab these every second loop by holding down Alt and pressing click and then going Alt Shift click for the next ones. And I'm going to subdivide these by right clicking and subdividing and then do the same for the two that I've missed out. You can check which ones you do by just going into wireframe mode and then vertex mode instead of edge mode. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these little ones here and I'm going to go select similar amount of connecting edges, press O for proportional editing, and I'm going to just, oh, that's interesting. Medium point? Yeah, okay, so change that to my medium point. I'm going to drag it in a bit. And you can see here, it's making a bit of a webbed feature. See, you got a bit of a web. Now, obviously you can take it out a bit, however you want this to look. That doesn't seem right. It's okay. We're going to go create a modifier, make it a wireframe, get rid of even, make it relative. So it's got make it nice and thin, and we're going to go 0.015. That'll do. Cool. So we've got our web here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this edge here, the whole edge there. I'm going to proportionally move you down to make my web. Okay. And then I'm going to apply my wireframe. And now I'm going to select a little, let's go up to here. Sorry. Hold on. Do that. Select the loop. Get rid of the face. This will work. I'm just going to extrude that out a little bit there. This is going to be the tip of my web. And now we can apply the modifier. So if I now go into edit mode, grab this loop here, unsure why it's not working, that's okay. Go up to here, grab my little loop, and we're going to select that, and we're going to wonder why on earth that's happening. That clipping's way too small. There we go. Okay, here we go. So we've got our little web. Now we're going to, grab him, extrude him up heaps. So we got our web swinging, and we're going to create some loop cuts in there, which, here we go. And you can see here come the loops. 170 loops, jeez Louise. Okay, now that might be a little bit too big, but that's okay. Make my little web. Cool, so we've got our web here. Now, you can also like move this around a little bit. You can join some of these together. You can join some of these together if you want to like make, if you would like to make it a little bit more organic, which is always a great idea. For this tutorial, for this video, I'm just gonna keep it regular. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna now turn this into a cloth sim. So what I want to do is I'm gonna create some vertex pinning groups. So I'm gonna make one and call it a pin group. And I'm going to apply. I'm going to make the little end up here a pin group, and I'm going to assign it to there. And I'm going to also create another little group and call that the top of the web. And I'm going to assign that to there. Then I'm just going to do the same for the base of the web, make a pin group, assign that to the pin group. So in this pin group here, the main one, we've got the top and the bottom of the webs. And then I'm going to create another one called base web, and that's just going to have the bottom of the web. And the reason I'm creating these two is I'm going to add some empties onto here so I can pull it around and adjust my web like that. Now, to make sure this is working, I'm going to hit save, obviously, make sure it's all saved. Go into my, what's this panel called? The physics properties, and add a cloth sim. And now, if you go to the start of your timeline, press play, you can see that it's falling down. Now that is good. The reason we created that pin group is so that those two bits, the top and the bottom, hold it in place. So you can see here, look at that. We've got our little web guy there, and it's fallen, and he's got some proper little physics against him. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to create some empties. I'm going to put one empty down the bottom and one empty down the top. And we want to make sure we rename this one here to top web empty. And I'm going to grab one down the bottom, and I'm going to name it, where do you go? Bottom web empty. And what I want to do these two empties is I want to make sure they're lined up properly, because otherwise it can make some issues when you're moving it around. Lined up properly on top, and we're going to create a little hook group from this. So we're going to go into here, into the modifier tab, add a modifier, add a hook, and I'm going to make two of these. Make sure that the hook is on top of the cloth sim. And so I'm going to go empty top web, empty bottom web, and then do the same here. So base web, top web. And now what's super cool is if you have a look here, we'll play this here. I can now, look at that. We've just made a spider web in Blender. We can stretch them out. Look at that. And that's going to stay in place there. And then we can do the same thing with the bottom of the web. We can move that around, and that base is going to stay in place. And I think that is really cool. So you've essentially now been able to make a spider web with realistic physics in Blender. So all you got to do now is grab that web, you grab the base, you grab the top, and you're going to want to chuck some keyframes on it. And we're going to scale it up heaps. Go down to here, flip it upside down, see where it is actually, because I want it to, I'm going to want it to attach up onto this thing here, onto this crane. So we'll get our first keyframe, which I'm going to move to here. And then I'm going to move forwards. And because the web's going to go really fast, I'm going to put the web up to this thing here, the base of the crane. And we're going to make sure that it is actually on the crane itself. Cool. And then that looks pretty good. And you can see here, when I hit play, that is going to swing into place. Now I'm going to make a little collision mesh here, potentially. That should, I'll give it a rigid body, make it passive. Shows, that's wrong. On the crane itself, so make it passive. And give it a collision mesh. Hopefully that does something. If not, I might have to go into here and give some collisions. Now, if for some reason you find your web sim is messing around or just doing the same thing as it did before, a good rule of thumb is you go into your physics sims and you just adjust one of these, because it's baking everything in each time you make an adjustment. And if you don't make an adjustment, it's not really going to know to go over that. So you can just play around with these settings and it'll reset your web sim and do it again. So you can also go here and change your little presets to silk and rubber. Both of them work fine. I haven't really found a difference between the two of them. Right, actually, never mind. Rubber looks like shit there. So we're going to go back to silk and do this one again. So silk, see this pump up. You can see that there. Now, as far as the material goes, you want to make it kind of translucent. We want to make it white, obviously. You can drop down the alpha there, which will make it a bit translucent. You can give it a bit of an emission to make it a bit whiter as well. And you can see there already, bam, like that's literally just drop the alpha a bit, make it white in the color, and give it like a 0.5 alpha, give it a bit of an emission, and it's done. That's a nice looking web. You can't say there, that's too white. That's a good little web. I think that's quite funky. So yeah, you can then, what I did for the other scene is I grabbed a model from Sketchfab. So I grabbed the model from Sketchfab, popped it through Mixamo, and applied some swinging animations onto it, and then brought those into my Blender scene, fixed it up a bit, like positioned it, and then had my little Spider-Man swinging through. So if you see now, I wonder if I can, if I put this into Eevee, it's not going to look good, is it? Because so the dynamic sky doesn't work in Eevee, so that's always a reason to use cycles over Eevee for that. I hope this doesn't crash. Oh, never mind. I thought it doesn't work. Oh, you know what it is? Sorry, the dynamic sky must work. It's some of the sky, when instead of using dynamic sky, if you just use like the default Blender sky ones, some of those don't work in Eevee. But if I just go through here and play this out, you can kind of see, hopefully that'll come up. We've got a little web coming in there. So I'm going to render this out and pop it up tomorrow, maybe as a short, as a reel, and we'll be able to see it. Why don't we just for now find a little still once it's attached. And we can render this little shot out. And I'm going to sign off after this. So unless anyone has any questions or comments or whatever, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm going to plan to do a few more of these in the coming weeks and months. This was quite fun building along. Let's see. That's going to work in the background there. Yeah, look, this was really enjoyable. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can speak to, sorry. I think I might need to get a second monitor just so I can put this on the side. I'm using a webcam at the moment as well. Yeah, I'm just going to speak directly to you for now. Thanks for joining in the stream. Thanks for watching along. This will be published to YouTube directly after, so if you want to watch it again or if you want to see anything from there, it'll be up. I'm gonna make a video on how to make this little VFX thing tomorrow. There goes my computer fan. I'm sure you can hear it in the background. So I'm gonna sign off soon because this is gonna render overnight. Um, look, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any suggestions for next time or anything at all, please do let me know. Um, like I said, this was a really fun thing to do. So I'm keen to do some more of these in the future. So I think, yeah, I think the render is done. So I'm just gonna pop back down my little, whoops, bring this back down. Interesting. And this back down. So let's have a look at the final render. Let's go to here and save it into YouTube stream render version 001. Documents, YouTube stream. Okay. Documents, YouTube stream, render version 001. So this here is the final image that we've come out with today. Look, obviously there's some adjustments that can be made. We can try, a fun thing to do is you can add some like birds in the background, but you can see here that web's got a bit of motion blur on it and it looks kind of cool. You got some buildings in the background there. We've got a crane coming across. It's not the most hyperreal thing, but it looks pretty cool. I quite like how this looks. If I had more time, I'd maybe add some more imperfections there, add some imperfections on the lens, maybe add a bit of chromatic aberration, do some bits and pieces, add a lot more scaffolding, because as you can see, there's no scaffolding there. This is interesting. The texture didn't, the graffiti didn't go up there. I might actually adjust that now, and then we'll say goodbye. So there's an add-on called Import Images as Planes, which is built into Blender, and that's what I want to use here. So import images as planes. I want to see where this is first, what the file location is. Cool, so we're going to go import images as planes. We're going to go here, pop that in, graffiti, import that as a plane, and that should be there. Lovely. Okay, so now I'm going to find where that building is. Where is it? Where's this graffiti piece gone? How big are you? You are 11.81. Lovely. Way bigger. Okay. Scale's a bit off, that's okay. Pop that there. We can move it in front a little bit. Delete the original material preview it. That should work. It might just have to load the materials for a bit. As you can see there, shade is compiling. And I'm going to go into opacity alpha. Damn, okay. If I drop that. Okay. Interesting. Oh, my headphones are going. Take that out, that's why. Drop that there. Here we go, this should work now. Ah, drats. I've just made a bit of a mistake. Come back image. So put that there, get rid of the alpha, drop that down to like 0.5, 0.65. Here we go. Now when we render that should look better now. Look, yeah, so again, I hope you enjoyed the process. I found this really fun, very enjoyable. Yeah, that looks better. Wonder if I can't save it early. If you have any suggestions for next time, please do let me know down below. I had a blast. I'm gonna wait for this to render, and then, like I said, yeah, I'll give this a render overnight, add it to a shorts, and I'll make this into a playlist for today's video, for tomorrow's video. So I'll have a video about how to make this little VFX shot in a little 1 or 2 minute video, as opposed to this big one. Wow, I really like how this building turned out. Obviously, it's not super high quality here, but I quite like the molding there. That's nice. I'm happy with that. Oh, I put the texture on the wrong thing there. That's interesting. This is always a fun way to spot the issues that you made, isn't it? Once you press render. That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, look, it does look a bit flat. That can be adjusted with some lighting as well. This is just coming straight out of Blender with no uh, passes or anything going over it. That's a great thing to do. If you add some passes, some render passes over, you can then do some compositing later on in Blender or another software. Let's make this full screen, and we've got the final render once we're done. I hope you enjoyed watching. As you can see here, there's the graffiti, there's the little Spiderman thing. This is cool. I'm happy with this. I'm going to sign off now. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be trying to stream maybe once a fortnight. I'll see how that schedule goes. This is a first test. I'm going to go over, see how it goes, watch it over again by myself, and hopefully take some notes down for next time. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I look forward to doing this again. Please like and subscribe, comment the rest if you enjoy.